They told you to visualize, to journal, to wait. But what if that's the very reason you're still waiting? There's a hidden flaw inside the modern language of manifestation. A soft, almost invisible lie that's been repeated so often, it became sacred truth. It whispers, you must think long enough, believe hard enough, and reality will eventually obey. It sounds noble. It feels empowering. But it secretly programs delay. Because when you say eventually, you're telling the universe, not yet. And the quantum field listens with perfect obedience. Every time you visualize your dream as something coming, you reinforce its absence. Every time you trust divine timing, you're broadcasting a frequency of waiting. And so life mirrors back the same loop. Almost there, not yet, keep trying. The truth is not that manifestation doesn't work. It works too precisely. It gives you exactly what you signal. And most people are signaling distance. They think they're creating their future. But what they're actually stabilizing is the version of themselves who's still becoming, still hoping, still reaching. The universe responds, as you wish. And so the wait continues. Look closer. Manifestation isn't slow because life resists you. It's slow because you're energizing the timeline of not yet. You think you're sending a message of power. But underneath that intention is a nervous system humming with absence. A silent code that says, it's not here. I need to get it. That's the real virus in the matrix. Because the moment you decide that your desire is out there, you collapse yourself into a universe where it truly is. And in that instant, you stop being the creator. You become the chaser. The quantum field doesn't understand waiting. It understands coherence, not effort. Alignment. Time, as we know it, isn't a delivery system. It's a mirror. It reflects your current frequency, not your plans, not your affirmations, only your now signal. So if your now vibrates with anticipation, with effort, with need, the mirror reflects that vibration back. More effort, more anticipation, more need. That's why your dream can feel close but never land. Because you're tuned to the version of you who's always almost there. Pause for a moment. Feel that phrase, almost there. That's the most common frequency on the planet. It's the sound of people believing in someday. And someday never collapses into today. Manifestation becomes slow the moment you start believing in time. But the field doesn't run on time. It runs on identity. The instant you stop trying to attract something and start being the one who already has it, coherence ignites. Reality doesn't crawl toward you, it folds. It rearranges itself to match your dominant frequency. Because when the inner world becomes identical to the desired timeline, the field has no choice but to comply. That's not magic. That's physics. So ask yourself, what version of me am I energizing right now? The one who's waiting or the one who's living? Because every thought, every breath, every emotional signal is a vote. You are choosing the universe you stand in with every heartbeat. You are not here to chase reality. You are here to collapse it. And collapsing doesn't take years. It takes alignment. It happens the moment you stop broadcasting delay and start radiating completion. This is the illusion of slow manifestation, the idea that time separates you from what's yours. But time is only a reflection of how long it takes you to stop contradicting your own desire. The faster you remember, the faster the field obeys. Because nothing is truly waiting for you. Reality is ready. It's you who decides how long it takes. You've been told that effort is noble, that the more you strive, the closer you get. But what if striving is the very signal keeping you apart from what you seek? This is the quiet trap of effort. The illusion that force equals progress. The idea that if you just push harder, pray longer, visualize deeper, the universe will finally give in. But the quantum field doesn't respond to effort. It responds to coherence. Every time you try too hard, you declare to the field, I don't have it yet. Every affirmation whispered through tension carries the same vibration, lack. The harder you try to believe, the more you broadcast disbelief. Because effort is a confession that says, it's not mine now, but maybe one day. And the field, ever precise, mirrors your confession without error. Reality doesn't hear your words. It hears your frequency. You say abundance, but your body hums survival. You say peace, but your breath trembles with control. You say love, but your nervous system still anticipates loss. This is why nothing changes. Because you're sending mixed signals into a perfect system. The quantum field is not cruel. It's consistent. It collapses what you are, not what you wish. So pause. Look at what you've been calling manifestation work. The journaling, the rituals, the visualizations. Beautiful tools, if they come from embodiment. But when they come from effort, they create noise. You're saying one thing and vibrating another. And in the physics of creation, vibration always wins. The more you push, the more you prove to your own field that you still believe in pushing. The more you chase alignment, the more you confess misalignment. That's the paradox. Because in the quantum reality, speed isn't born from action. It's born from stillness. From the moment you stop grasping and your energy becomes singular. When your thoughts, emotions, and body speak the same frequency, the field has no choice but to echo it instantly. That's coherence. That's alignment. That's the real power behind instant creation. But most people don't reach it because they're addicted to trying. They think surrender means weakness. They confuse allowing with giving up. Yet surrender is not the end of power. It's the beginning of precision. When you surrender the effort, you stop splitting your signal. You stop sending the universe two opposing commands. I want, and I don't have. You become one clean vibration, one steady broadcast of truth. The field doesn't need you to fight. It needs you to be clear. Effort creates friction. Coherence creates flow. Imagine tuning a radio. If the dial shakes between stations, all you hear is static. But the moment you align precisely, the signal locks in. That's how creation works. Not through struggle, but through exact resonance. You are not a beggar of the universe. You are its frequency maker. And your state is the instruction. So stop trying to convince reality with noise. Start commanding it with clarity. Because effort is always a symptom of doubt. And doubt collapses slow timelines. The faster way is stillness. The power of knowing without strain. Breathe. Feel your body. Sense the version of you who isn't trying anymore. The one who knows that reality has already rearranged itself, even before the evidence appears. That is the version who manifests effortlessly, not by reaching, but by remembering. You don't have to push the river. You are the river. And when you flow without resistance, time bends, matter yields, and the field mirrors your stillness with immediate reflection. Stop trying to make it happen. Start letting it be inevitable. Thoughts are light, but emotion is fire. You can think about your dream all day long. Write it down, speak it, chant it, visualize it, and still, nothing moves. Because the field doesn't speak the language of words. It speaks the language of vibration. And vibration is emotion in motion. Every feeling you allow becomes a frequency. Every frequency becomes an instruction. The field listens not to your mind, but to your body. When your chest tightens, when your breath shortens, when your heart trembles with fear, that's the signal being broadcast. You say abundance, but your body whispers scarcity. You say love, but your nervous system remembers rejection. You say peace, but your pulse hums survival. And the universe, always obedient, mirrors exactly what it receives. Emotion is the voltage that powers reality. Without voltage, the circuit is dead. Without emotion, manifestation is only theory. You can repeat affirmations for years, but 1 second of pure, embodied gratitude collapses more timelines than a decade of mental effort. Because gratitude is coherence. Trust is precision. Peace is power. Emotion is not a reaction to what happens. It's a creation of what happens. You are not meant to wait until the dream appears to feel joy. You are meant to feel joy first, and the dream appears to match it. That's not optimism. That's physics. The body is not a passenger in creation. It's the transmitter. It sends the signal the field obeys. So if you want to shift reality, don't start in the mind. Start in the breath. Start in the chest. Start in the rhythm that your cells dance to. Your heart doesn't know how to lie. It can't fake coherence. It either feels it or it doesn't. And that's why you can't manipulate the universe with empty affirmations. The field doesn't respond to phrases. It responds to presence, to the truth vibrating beneath your words, to the emotion living inside the tone of your being. So ask yourself, what emotion are you practicing daily? Fear, effort, hope, waiting? Those are frequencies too. And every day you rehearse them, you stabilize that timeline. You can't build a future from the emotion of absence. You must feel as if it's already done. Not pretend, not fake, but generate. Consciously, shift your breathing to the rhythm of certainty. Move your body with the posture of completion. Speak like someone who knows. Because when your emotion aligns with your desire, your body becomes the evidence before the evidence. And that is when the collapse happens fast. Emotion is the key that shortcuts time. It bypasses logic. It overrides resistance. It tells the quantum field, this version of me is real now. And when the field believes you, it obeys instantly. You don't need to think harder. You need to feel clearer. Because emotion is not weakness. It's the signature of creation. One breath of pure trust, one moment of full alignment, can rearrange universes. So stop waiting to feel better when it happens. Feel better so it happens. That's how you collapse the distance between desire and reality. Not by thinking about it, but by feeling it into being. Your body is not a bystander in creation. It is the instrument, the antenna, the living proof of coherence, or the lack of it. Most people treat their body like a vehicle driven by the mind. They believe manifestation happens somewhere above the neck, in thoughts, words, and imagination. But the body is the field's loudest voice. It broadcasts the signal that the universe hears first. Every gesture, every posture, every breath is an instruction. Your chemistry speaks louder than your affirmations. You can say, I am confident, but if your shoulders collapse, your spine curls, your lungs barely open, you are transmitting fear. You can say, I am abundant, but if your chest is tight and your walk is small, you are sending a frequency of lack. The field responds not to what you claim, but to what you embody. Embodiment is not pretending. It's not acting as if. It's remembering as truth. When your body behaves as if the future is already here, the field reorganizes to match it. This is not fantasy, it's entrainment. In physics, when two oscillating systems interact, the one with the stronger, steadier rhythm pulls the other into synchronization. That's what happens when you embody your chosen timeline. Your vibration becomes dominant. Reality begins to align. This is why rituals alone often fail. They are performed by a body still loyal to the past. A body shaped by anxiety, bent by waiting, trained by effort. Your posture tells the truth of your timeline. Your breath tells the truth of your belief. Your voice tells the truth of your frequency. So the shift must start there. Stand as the version of you who has already arrived. Breathe as they would breathe, slow, steady, safe. Move as they would move, deliberate, relaxed, certain. Speak as they would speak, with warmth, not need. This is not performance. It's calibration. You are teaching your nervous system what done feels like. You are teaching the universe which signal to mirror. Most people are waiting for permission to feel free. They say, I'll relax when the money comes. I'll open up when love arrives. I'll breathe easier when life finally changes. But that order is reversed. Freedom is not a reward. It's the signal that starts the sequence. The moment you breathe deeply before there's a reason, you're sending a code to the field. This reality is safe now. The moment you smile without proof, you collapse the version of yourself who is waiting. The moment you move with certainty, you dissolve uncertainty. The universe reads every physical act as a declaration. Embodiment ends the performance of hoping. It ends the ritual of waiting. It begins the authority of being. Because when your behavior and your belief align, the delay disappears. Reality bends not because you demand it, but because you've become undeniable. This is why transformation feels so different. When it happens through the body, it's quieter, simpler, deeper. You no longer have to push. You simply occupy. You fill the space of the future until it becomes now. And the field, faithful as always, collapses that version into form. When your body believes, the universe doesn't question. There is a moment no one can schedule. No ritual can summon it. No affirmation can control it. It arrives in silence, unexpected, like the hush before dawn. You don't chase it. You fall into it. It's the moment the wave becomes the particle. The unseen becomes seen. The desire stops being a wish and turns into the air you breathe. It's the moment of collapse, and it happens faster than thought. You don't earn it through repetition. You reach it through coherence. When your breath, emotion, and body finally tell the same story, the field obeys, not because you forced it, because you stopped contradicting it. You stopped asking. You stopped waiting. You stopped being the version who was still trying. And in that stillness, the future recognizes you. The reality that once felt distant locks into place with gentle precision. You feel it before you see it. The pressure dissolves. The craving disappears. Peace replaces effort. That's when you know the shift has happened. Not because fireworks explode, but because silence feels full. The collapse is not a reward. It's a consequence of coherence. It's the universe saying, you finally match the signal. And when that happens, everything aligns so naturally. It feels like it was always meant to be. Because it was. The quantum field doesn't build reality slowly. It selects it instantly. Over and over. Each moment, a new selection. Each breath, a new broadcast. So when you stabilize a single frequency long enough, certainty instead of doubt, trust instead of fear, being instead of becoming, the field has no option but to collapse that timeline into form. It's not luck. It's law. But collapse isn't the end. It's the doorway. Because when an old version of you dissolves, a new spectrum of possibilities opens. A wider horizon of frequencies waiting to be chosen. The real mastery begins after the shift. Can you hold coherence when life expands? Can you stay clear when new currents appear? Integration is where creation becomes art. It's the moment you learn to live as the version you once dreamed of being. Not occasionally, but continuously. That's what makes a new timeline permanent. Not a single realization, but consistent embodiment of the truth. I am already here. So pause now. Take a breath. Feel how real it already is. You are not waiting for the future to arrive. The future has been waiting for you to remember. This is the quantum shortcut. This is the collapse moment. The instant your being says yes. And the universe answers, welcome home. Write it, say it, live it. Speed is a state of being. Because when you stop waiting, reality stops taking time.